going on, guys? This is the Wisdom Matrix, and this video is about how, well, we are all messengers of God. Some of us more than others, and some of us in a more pure, well, not necessarily pure, but less ego-driven way than others. So, what do I mean by messengers of God? Well, the soul, that is what makes a part of you, at least to some extent, is actually God. That's what the soul is. So we all get messages from the soul. Some of us share these messages. Some of us don't. Some of us apply these messages in everyday life, and some of us do it sometimes, and some of us do it less than that. Sometimes don't. Some people don't even do it at all. So, that's that's what I mean by we are all messengers of God, because we all have messages that our soul sends us. And this is what I've been working towards sharing with all of you, that we all are messengers. We all have messages that our soul gives us, and I've shared many ways of how to receive these messages. And I'm going to share as many as I can here, because they're all important to self-growth and self-realization. So, what are these techniques for those who don't know what these techniques are? Well, one of them. There's a bunch of good ones, and I'm going to share as many of them as I can. So, one of them is have a bird's eye view. Basically, what this means is that you, whenever you have problems or you don't know what to do in a certain situation or something like that, just imagine that you are like a holy person, like a master or like an avatar of God or something. Not necessarily avatar of God or something, but something like that, like a master, a holy person, or like somebody like Jesus or something like that. Just imagine that you are this holy person looking in on this situation in your life, or whatever it is. Just imagine that you're this holy person looking into a situation or a thing or whatever it may be, whatever the case may be, and imagine that you and then you can find the answers that way by just looking with this imagination. Imagine your holy person technique. It brings distance to pretty much any like problem that you may have, and it has amazing qualities to it. So what you do then is you just look from that perspective, and don't like try and doubt what comes up. Just like accept it on no matter what it is, how radical it seems, because sometimes it's very radical and you're just like, wow. And another good couple ways is to have compassion and love. Whenever somebody or something is happening, just realize that thing or whatever it is, that event or situation or person or thing or whatever it is, isn't actually trying to annoy you personally. It's that your mind is just reacting to this situation, and have compassion for whatever it is that's causing this annoyance or whatever, and have a compassion for yourself, and with compassion comes love. So So that's another good way. And from there, you can pretty much access the soul. That's a good way. Another way is to just realize that anything that anybody does, it all comes from a place of love. It may be distorted love. It may be very corrupted and twisted love, but it's still love. Example is like, say, let's take like a Jesus example. Like the reason why though the people who killed Jesus, not, it wasn't because they're evil necessarily. It's because they wanted their scriptures and churches to stay the same or something like that. They loved the way it was as it is. They loved the status quo, I guess would be the word for it. So something like that. So just look for the love in any action or thought or word that somebody says that seems annoying. There's always like at the deeper level, there's always some kind of love involved, no matter how corrupted or twisted it may be. And there are a couple others. When you notice something inside of you that says something wise, it usually comes up with like love, because love and wisdom, they're interconnected. I think I consider them to be the same thing, but so that's how you know as well. So many things like this. There are many techniques. Not taking things personally is another good one, because it opens yourself up to wisdom once you get past all the emotionality and the reactivity of your mind. So those are just 4 or 5 that I've just mentioned right there. And there are many, 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 many other ways. There are probably infinite amount of ways that I haven't even mentioned at all in this channel. So another way is not to see other people as like the enemy or an asshole or something like that, which goes back to the same thing I said about not taking things personally. That's a way that people do that. Excuse me. And another thing to do is not to completely blame other people. It's I think it's more important to look inside of yourself for any like reactivity or anything like that, because you really can't change other people's reactivity. You can only do so much when it comes to that. You can teach them some of these techniques, but they have to do the work themselves. That's something that I've had to learn along the way. Not an easy thing to learn sometimes, but it's true. Anyways, those are just many. Those are like 6 or 7 different things that I've just listed right there. So, anyways, if you like this video, please like it, subscribe, share it with others so they can get the same benefits as you did. So, this is the Wisdom Matrix, and I'll see you on the next video.